The day the sky lit up with strange lights was the day Earth changed forever. It was a quiet Tuesday afternoon when giant holograms appeared in the skies above every major city on the planet. The images showed tall, blue-skinned aliens with 4 arms and large, dark eyes. They called themselves the Zarkon, rulers of the Galactic Empire. People everywhere stopped what they were doing. Cars screeched to a halt. Phones came out to record the event. The whole world held its breath, waiting to hear what these alien visitors had to say. The alien in the center of the hologram spoke. Its voice boomed across the planet in every language known to humankind. People of Earth, it said, we are the Zarkon. We rule this galaxy. We have watched your planet for many years. We have decided that you are too dangerous to join us in space. Gasps of shock and confusion spread through the crowds gathered in streets and squares worldwide. The alien continued, humans are unpredictable. You fight wars. You destroy your own planet. You create weapons that could wipe out entire species. We cannot allow such a threat to spread beyond your world. The hologram flickered, showing images of human history. World wars, nuclear explosions, polluted cities, and starving children flashed across the sky. It was like watching humanity's worst moments play out for all to see. Therefore, the Zarkon announced, we declare Earth a quarantine zone. You are forbidden to leave your planet. Any attempt to do so will be met with force. Stay on Earth, or face the consequences. With that final warning, the holograms vanished. The sky returned to normal, but the world below was forever changed. In the days that followed, chaos erupted. Some people panicked, rushing to buy food and supplies. Others celebrated, thinking alien contact meant a new era for humanity. Governments around the world scrambled to respond. In Washington, D.C., President Laura Chen called an emergency meeting. Leaders from every nation joined via secure video link. The room was tense as they discussed what to do. We can't just accept this, shouted the Russian president. Who are they to tell us we can't explore space? But how can we fight an empire that controls the galaxy? Asked the Prime Minister of India. We've barely reached our own moon. As the arguments heated up, a quiet voice spoke from the back of the room. It was Dr. James Wong, a renowned astrophysicist. What if, he said slowly, what if they're lying? All eyes turned to him. Dr. Wong continued, think about it. If they're so powerful, why warn us? Why not just destroy us? I think they're afraid of us. A murmur spread through the room. President Chen leaned forward. Explain, Dr. Wong. They showed us our worst moments, Wong said, but they didn't show our achievements. Our art, our music, our scientific discoveries. I think they see our potential. They're trying to keep us contained because they're scared of what we might become. The room fell silent as everyone considered this idea. Finally, President Chen spoke. If Dr. Wong is right, we have a choice to make. Do we obey this ultimatum, or do we find a way to reach the stars despite their warning? She looked around the room, meeting the eyes of leaders from every corner of the earth. I say we don't give up. Humanity has faced challenges before. We've overcome ice ages, plagues, and our own destructive nature. We can overcome this too. One by one, the world leaders nodded in agreement. They wouldn't bow to alien demands. They would find a way to outsmart the Galactic Empire. As the meeting ended, President Chen turned to Dr. Wong. We're going to need brilliant minds like yours to pull this off. Are you ready to help humanity reach the stars? Dr. Wong smiled. Madam President, I thought you'd never ask. And so, in secret, Operation Stardust began. Humanity would not be confined to Earth. They would find a way to slip past the Zarkon's watchful eyes and claim their place among the stars. The greatest adventure in human history was about to unfold. 3 months after the Zarkon's ultimatum, the world's top scientists, engineers, and leaders gathered in a secret underground facility deep in the Swiss Alps. The room buzzed with nervous energy as people from different countries, who were once rivals, now worked together towards a common goal. Dr. Sarah Chen, a brilliant young physicist, stood at the front of the room. Her eyes sparkled with excitement as she addressed the crowd. "Ladies and gentlemen," she began, "we're here to do the impossible. We're going to trick an alien empire." Murmurs filled the room. Dr. Chen clicked a button, and a hologram appeared, showing Earth surrounded by a web of alien satellites. "The Zarkam think they have us trapped," she said. "But they've made one big mistake. They underestimate human creativity." She waved her hand, and the hologram changed to show a strange-looking spacecraft. "This is Project Phantom," Dr. Chen explained. "A ship that can hide from alien sensors. It bends light around itself, making it invisible, and its engine leaves no heat trail for them to follow." The crowd leaned forward, intrigued. An older man raised his hand. It was Dr. Wong, the astrophysicist who had first suggested defying the aliens. "It's brilliant," he said, "but how do we build it without the Zarkon noticing?" Dr. Chen smiled. "That's where it gets really interesting," she said. She clicked another button, and the hologram showed a series of underground facilities. "We build everything in secret, deep underground. We use the noise from our cities to mask our work, and we create a fake global project as a cover story." The fake project, she explained, would be a worldwide effort to clean up the environment. It would involve building large machines that looked like they were cleaning the air and water. But in reality, these machines would be secretly manufacturing parts for Project Phantom. "The Zarkon want to see us as primitive," Dr. Chen said. "So let's show them what they expect to see. On the surface, we'll look like we're just trying to fix our planet. But underground, we'll be reaching for the stars." The plan was ambitious and risky. If the Zarkon discovered what they were doing, Earth could face destruction. But the alternative, being trapped on their own planet forever, was unacceptable. As the meeting went on, people from different countries began to work together. Russian engineers collaborated with American scientists. Chinese computer experts joined forces with European physicists. For the first time in history, the entire world was united in a single goal. Months passed, and the plan slowly came to life. In cities around the world, large air purifiers appeared. People cheered as their governments announced a global cleanup effort. The Zarkon watched from their ships, seeing exactly what they expected: a primitive species trying to fix the mess they had made of their planet. But deep underground, the real work was happening. In hidden labs and secret factories, the pieces of Project Phantom were coming together. Dr. Chen worked tirelessly, solving problem after problem. There were setbacks and challenges, but the team never gave up. 1 year after the project began, Dr. Chen stood in a massive underground hangar. Before her was the fruit of their labor, the first Phantom ship. It was sleek and strange-looking, unlike any spacecraft humans had built before. Its surface seemed to shimmer, bending light around it in impossible ways. Dr. Wong stood beside her, his eyes wide with wonder. "It's beautiful," he said, "but will it work?" Dr. Chen took a deep breath. "There's only one way to find out," she said. She turned to the team of pilots who had been training for this moment. "Are you ready to make history?" The lead pilot, a former Air Force colonel named Jack Martinez, stepped forward. "We were born ready, Dr. Chen," he said with a grin. "Let's show these aliens what humans can do." As the team prepared for the first test flight, tension filled the air. If they succeeded, it would be the first step towards humanity's freedom among the stars. If they failed, it could mean the end of everything. Dr. Chen watched as the pilots entered the ship. She closed her eyes for a moment, thinking of all the work, all the secrecy, all the hope that had gone into this moment. When she opened them again, determination shone in her gaze. "All right," she said into her communicator. "Project Phantom, you are clear for launch. Let's go touch the stars." The hangar doors above slowly opened, revealing a patch of night sky. With a soft hum that quickly faded to silence, the Phantom ship rose. It shimmered once in the moonlight, and then it vanished. Earth's journey to the stars had begun. The Zarkon's warning had been received, and humanity had chosen to respond with ingenuity, courage, and a determination to forge their own path in the galaxy. The Phantom ship glided silently through the dark void of space. Inside, Colonel Jack Martinez and his crew of 4 sat in tense silence. They had trained for months in simulators, but this was real. They were the first humans to leave Earth's atmosphere since the Zarkon's warning. "Status report," Jack said, his voice barely above a whisper even though the aliens couldn't hear them. "All systems green," replied Sarah, the ship's engineer. "The stealth field is holding steady. As far as anyone can tell, we're not here." Jack nodded, allowing himself a small smile. Dr. Chen's invention was working perfectly. They had slipped past the Zarkon's patrol ships without a hitch. Their mission was simple but dangerous: fly to Mars, plant a beacon, and return to Earth. If successful, it would prove that humans could move through space undetected. As they approached the red planet, an alarm suddenly blared through the ship. "Zarkon patrol ship detected," yelled Mike, the sensor operator. "It's on an intercept course." Jack's heart raced. This wasn't part of the plan. "How did they spot us?" he demanded. Sarah shook her head, fingers flying over her console. "They didn't. It's just a routine patrol. But they'll fly right through us if we don't move." "Options?" Jack asked, staying calm despite the danger. "We can't outrun them," said Lisa, the navigator. "Our engine flash would give us away. And if we stay put, they'll crash into us," added Sarah. Jack made a quick decision. "Take us down," he ordered. "We'll hide on Mars." The crew looked at him in shock. Landing on Mars wasn't part of the mission. It was risky and might damage the ship, but it was their only choice. Lisa punched in the commands, and the Phantom dove towards the red planet. The ship shuddered as it hit the atmosphere. Warning lights flashed as the heat shield strained against the entry. "Brace for impact," Jack yelled as the ground rushed up to meet them. With a bone-jarring thud, the Phantom landed on the dusty Martian surface. As the dust settled, the crew looked out in awe. They were the first humans to set foot on Mars. But there was no time to celebrate. The Zarkon ship was still coming. Jack made another bold decision. "Suit up," he ordered. "We're going outside." In their sleek spacesuits, the crew exited the ship. Jack activated the Phantom's camouflage system. The ship shimmered and then seemed to melt into the Martian landscape, becoming invisible. The 5 humans huddled behind a large rock, watching the sky. Soon, they saw it. A massive Zarkon ship, at least 10 times the size of the Phantom. It moved slowly across the Martian sky, its sensors sweeping the ground. For a heart-stopping moment, the alien ship paused directly above them. Jack held his breath, sure that at any moment they would be discovered. But after what seemed like an eternity, the ship moved on. As the Zarkon patrol disappeared over the horizon, the crew let out a collective sigh of relief. They had done it. They had hidden from the aliens on the surface of another planet. "Well," Jack said, looking around at the red landscape, "since we're here, we might as well plant that beacon." Working quickly, they set up the small device that would send secret signals back to Earth. As Sarah activated it, she grinned inside her helmet. "Dr. Chen is going to freak when she realizes we landed on Mars," she said. Jack laughed. "Let's hope she's not too mad about the scratches on her ship." As they prepared to leave, Jack paused to look at the Earth, a small blue dot in the sky. "You know," he said to his crew, "the Zarkon thought they could keep us trapped there. But look at us now. We've just proved that humanity doesn't stay put when told no." The crew nodded in agreement. They had taken a giant leap for humankind. Earth was no longer alone in the solar system. As they boarded the Phantom for the trip home, Jack felt a surge of pride and excitement. This was just the beginning. Humanity had taken its first secret steps into space, and there would be no turning back. The Phantom lifted off silently, invisible against the Martian sky. As they set course for Earth, Jack sent out a brief, coded message. "Eagles have landed." The nest is expanding. Back on Earth, in the control room of the secret base, Dr. Chen received the message. A smile spread across her face as she realized what it meant. "Well done, Phantom Crew," she whispered. "Welcome to the new space age." 6 months after the successful Mars mission, Earth's secret space program had grown rapidly. 5 Phantom ships now patrolled the solar system, gathering data and avoiding Zarkon detection. But today's mission was different. Today, humanity would attempt its first contact with alien life. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in the control room, her eyes fixed on the main screen. It showed a small rocky planet orbiting a distant star. "Are you sure about this?" she asked Captain Elena Rodriguez, who was piloting the Phantom ship Explorer. "Positive." Elena's voice crackled through the speakers. "Our sensors picked up artificial structures. There's definitely intelligent life down there." Sarah took a deep breath. This wasn't part of the plan. They were supposed to be scouting for resources, not making first contact. But the opportunity was too good to pass up. "All right," Sarah said. "Remember, we're not supposed to be here. Be careful." Elena guided the Explorer into the planet's atmosphere. As they descended, they saw a landscape of purple plains and silver forests. And there, nestled in a valley, was a city of crystal spires. "It's beautiful," whispered Mike, the ship's scientist. Suddenly, alarms blared. "We've got company," shouted Lisa, the sensor operator. Ship approaching fast. A sleek, arrow-shaped vessel rose from the city, heading straight for the Explorer. It was clearly more advanced than anything humanity had built. "They're hailing us," said Communications Officer Raj. Elena nodded. "Open a channel." A face appeared on the screen, humanoid, but with silvery skin and large almond-shaped eyes. It spoke in a musical language none of them understood. "Our translator can't decipher it," Raj said, frantically working his console. The alien ship drew closer. Elena made a quick decision. "We need to show we're friendly," she said. She opened the Explorer's cargo bay, revealing the gifts they had brought: samples of Earth art, music, and scientific knowledge. For a moment, it seemed to work. The alien ship slowed its approach. But then, without warning, it fired a bright beam of energy. "Evasive maneuvers," Elena shouted, spinning the Explorer in a tight roll. The beam missed by inches. "Why are they attacking?" Mike yelled as the ship shuddered from a glancing hit. "The gifts," Lisa suddenly exclaimed. "Look." On the screen, they saw their cargo floating in space. The alien beam hadn't been a weapon. It was a tractor beam. The alien ship was collecting their gifts. "They think we're attacking," Sarah realized back in the control room. "Our gifts look like debris to them." Elena tried to hail the alien ship, but it was no use. The aliens, thinking they were under attack, launched a swarm of small dart-like projectiles. "Braced for impact," Elena warned. The darts struck the Explorer, piercing its hull. Warning lights flashed across the console as the ship's systems began to fail. "We're losing power," Raj reported, his voice tight with fear. "Stealth systems are down." Elena's mind raced. Without the stealth field, they'd be detected by the Zarkon. The entire Earth defense program would be exposed. She made the hardest decision of her life. "We have to lose them," she said grimly. "Plot a course for the nearest gas giant." Lisa looked at her in shock. "But that's suicide." "It's the only way to protect Earth," Elena said. "Do it." As Lisa programmed the course, Elena opened a channel to Earth. "Dr. Chen," she said, her voice steady despite the chaos around her. "We've had first contact. It didn't go well. We're going dark to protect the program. Don't come looking for us." Before Sarah could respond, Elena cut the transmission. The Explorer, wounds in its side leaking air, limped towards the massive gas planet looming ahead. The alien ship followed for a while, still trying to communicate. But as the Explorer plunged into the planet's swirling storms, the aliens finally turned back. In the control room on Earth, Sarah and her team watched in horror as the explorer's signal winked out. 5 brave explorers, lost in the depths of an alien world, sacrificing everything to keep Earth's secrets safe. Sarah wiped away a tear. "They're heroes," she said softly. Then, squaring her shoulders, she turned to her team. "And we're going to make sure their sacrifice wasn't in vain. It's time to take this program to the next level. We're going to build a fleet." As the team sprang into action, Sarah looked back at the screen, now showing only empty space where the explorer had been. "We'll be back," she promised. "And next time, we'll be ready." 1 year after the loss of the explorer, Earth had changed. On the surface, things looked worse than ever. Cities were covered in smog. Beaches were littered with trash. To any watching eyes, humanity seemed to be spiraling towards self-destruction. But it was all an act. Deep underground, in secret bases across the world, a different story was unfolding. Dr. Sarah Chen stood in a massive hangar, surrounded by a fleet of advanced spacecraft. Each one was more powerful and stealthy than the original Phantom. "Status report," Sarah said to her assistant, Alex. Alex handed her a tablet. "We're right on schedule, Dr. Chen. The surface deception is working perfectly. The Zarkon think we're regressing. They've even reduced their patrols." Sarah nodded, a small smile on her face. After the Explorer incident, they had changed tactics. Instead of hiding their advances, they were hiding in plain sight, making Earth look like a failing planet. "And our other projects?" Sarah asked. "The Mars base is fully operational," Alex reported. "We've also established outposts on Europa and Titan, all hidden from Zarkon sensors, of course." Sarah felt a surge of pride. Humanity had spread throughout the solar system, all while the Zarkon thought they were trapped on a dying Earth. Suddenly, an alarm blared. Red lights flashed throughout the base. "What's happening?" Sarah demanded. Alex rushed to a computer terminal. His face paled as he read the screen. "It's the Zarkon," he said. "They're entering Earth's atmosphere. Hundreds of ships." Sarah's heart raced. Had they been discovered? She rushed to the command center, where dozens of technicians worked frantically at their stations. On the main screen, she saw the Zarkon fleet descending towards major cities around the world. But instead of attacking, they were cleaning. "They're deploying some kind of technology," one technician reported. "It's purifying the air, cleaning the oceans." Sarah watched in disbelief as the Zarkon ships went to work, undoing all the fake pollution they had created. In just a few hours, the skies were clear and the waters sparkled. Then a massive hologram appeared in the sky. It was the Zarkon leader they had seen 2 years ago. "People of Earth," the alien said, "we have been watching you closely. We believed you were a danger to the galaxy, but now we see that you are on the brink of destruction. We have come to save you from yourselves." A hologram showed images of the now clean Earth. "We will help you rebuild your world," the Zarkon continued. "In return, you will join our empire as a protectorate. We will guide your development and ensure you never again threaten yourselves or others." As the message repeated in languages around the world, Sarah and her team looked at each other in shock. Their plan had worked too well. The Zarkon didn't see them as a threat anymore. They saw humans as children who needed to be guided. "This is bad," Alex said. "If we accept their help, we'll never be free. But if we refuse, they'll know we've been deceiving them." Sarah finished. She closed her eyes, thinking hard. When she opened them, there was a fierce determination in her gaze. "Get me a secure line to all our off-world bases," she ordered, "and contact every world leader. It's time for humanity to reveal its true face." As her team scrambled to obey, Sarah looked at the screen showing the Zarkon ships hovering over a pristine Earth. She thought of all the sacrifices made to get to this point. The brave crew of the Explorer. The years of secret work. "You wanted us to stay on Earth," she said quietly to the image of the Zarkon leader. "You should have been more specific about which Earth." In bases on Mars, Europa, and Titan, humans waited tensely for orders. In hidden hangars around the world, pilots climbed into advanced ships the Zarkon never knew existed. The greatest revelation in human history was about to begin. Humanity was done hiding. It was time to show the galaxy who they really were. Sarah took a deep breath and pressed the broadcast button. "Attention all stations," she said, her voice steady. "Operation Starburst is now in effect. Let's introduce ourselves to the neighborhood." As Operation Starburst began, Dr. Sarah Chen stood at the heart of Earth's hidden command center. Screens lit up around her, showing human ships rising from secret bases on Earth, Mars, Europa, and Titan. The Zarkon ships hovered in Earth's orbit, still unaware of the surprise about to unfold. "All ships report ready, Dr. Chen," Alex said, his voice tense with excitement. Sarah nodded and took a deep breath. "Send the message," she ordered. Across the globe, hidden transmitters came to life. The Zarkon leader's hologram flickered and vanished, replaced by Sarah's face. "People of Earth, and our unwelcome Zarkon visitors," she began, her voice echoing across the planet and into space. "For 2 years, we've lived under an alien ultimatum. We were told to stay on our world or face destruction. Today, we answer that threat." In orbit, the Zarkon ships suddenly found themselves surrounded by a swarm of advanced human vessels, appearing out of nowhere as they dropped their stealth fields. "We are not the primitive species you thought we were," Sarah continued. "We have walked on Mars, built bases on the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. We have mastered technologies you thought beyond us." The Zarkon ships began to move, clearly confused and alarmed, but they were outnumbered and outmaneuvered. "But we've discovered something else in our journey to the stars," Sarah said, her tone growing serious. "We are not alone in our defiance. Your empire is built on lies and oppression." She nodded to Alex, who pressed a button. New images filled the screens, alien worlds, each under the boot of Zarkon rule. But there was something else. On each world, hidden rebels worked in secret, building their own versions of phantom ships. "We've made contact with other species you've tried to keep isolated," Sarah revealed. "We've shared our technology, our hope, and now we stand united." Across the galaxy, on a dozen different worlds, secret fleets rose to challenge their Zarkon overlords. The empire that had stood for millennia found itself under attack from within and without. In orbit around Earth, the Zarkon commander's face appeared on the human ship's screens. "How dare you?" he sputtered, his composure cracking. "You have no idea what you're doing. The galaxy needs our rule to survive." Sarah met his gaze coolly. "We know exactly what we're doing," she replied. "We're breaking your hold on the galaxy, but we want to know why. Why suppress so many species? What are you afraid of?" The Zarkon commander's eyes darted nervously. "You don't understand," he said, his voice low. "There's something out there, something ancient and terrible. Only our empire can stand against it." Sarah's eyes narrowed. "What are you talking about?" But before the commander could answer, his image vanished. In the distance, a massive ship appeared, dwarfing even the largest Zarkon vessels. It was like nothing they had ever seen before. "New contact," shouted Alex. It's huge." The strange ship fired, not at the human fleet, but at the Zarkon ships. In seconds, the entire Zarkon force was reduced to drifting debris. A new voice boomed across all channels, deep and inhuman. "At last," it said, "the game pieces are in position. Let the true battle begin." As quickly as it had appeared, the massive ship vanished, leaving stunned silence in its wake. Sarah stared at the empty space where it had been, her mind racing. The Zarkon's words echoed in her head. Something ancient and terrible. Was this what they had been preparing for? Had humanity just stumbled into a war beyond their understanding? She turned to her team, saw the fear and confusion on their faces, but she also saw determination. Humanity had faced extinction before. They had defied an alien empire, Whatever this new threat was, they would face it too. "Send word to our allies," Sarah ordered, her voice steady. "The Zarkon were just the beginning. We need to prepare for what comes next." As her team sprang into action, Sarah looked out at the stars. The galaxy had just become a much bigger, more dangerous place, but humanity was no longer alone. Together with their new allies, they would uncover the truth behind the Zarkon's actions and face whatever threat lurked in the darkness of space. The next chapter of humanity's great adventure was about to begin. 3 months after the mysterious ship's appearance, the galaxy was in chaos. The Zarkon Empire had crumbled, leaving dozens of worlds struggling to govern themselves. But a new threat loomed, one that made the Zarkon seem insignificant. Dr. Sarah Chen stood before the newly formed Galactic Council, a gathering of representatives from every freed world. The room buzzed with nervous energy as aliens of all shapes and sizes waited to hear Earth's plan. "Friends, allies, fellow survivors of Zarkon rule," Sarah began, her voice steady. "We've learned much in the past months. The Zarkon weren't just tyrants. They were guardians, holding back a threat they thought we couldn't handle." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. Sarah continued. "They called it the Void, an ancient force that consumes entire civilizations. The Zarkon believed that only by keeping us weak and divided could they prevent us from awakening it." She paused, letting the information sink in. But they were wrong. Their fear made them overlook our greatest strength, our diversity, our ability to work together despite our differences. Sarah nodded to Alex, who activated a hologram in the center of the room. It showed a massive space station, shaped like a 5-pointed star. "This is Project Unity," Sarah explained, "a station that combines the best technology from all our worlds. It's designed to detect and counteract void energy." The alien representatives leaned forward, studying the hologram with interest. "But technology alone isn't enough," Sarah continued. "We need something more. We need hope. We need to show the void that we won't cower in fear. That's why we're here today." She took a deep breath. "Earth proposes a grand reveal. We will announce our presence to the galaxy at large. We'll show everyone that we're not alone, that together we're strong enough to face any threat." The room erupted in debate. Some thought it was too risky. Others believed it was their best chance. As the arguments heated up, a low rumble shook the station. Alarms blared. "It's here," someone shouted. "The Void." Outside the station's windows, space itself seemed to ripple and tear. But darkness deeper than the blackest night seeped through. Tendrils of nothingness reaching for the station. Sarah's voice cut through the panic. "This is it," she shouted. "This is our moment. Everyone to your stations. It's time to show the Void what we can do together." As the council members rushed to their assigned posts, Sarah and Alex raced to the control room. They found it abuzz with activity, aliens and humans working side by side. "Project Unity is online," Alex reported. "All systems green." Sarah nodded, her eyes fixed on the approaching darkness. "Activate the beacon," she ordered. A beam of pure energy shot from the station, a dazzling combination of technologies from a dozen worlds. It struck the encroaching void, pushing it back. But the void fought back. Tendrils of darkness lashed out, striking the station. The whole structure shuddered. "We need more power," Sarah shouted. Across the galaxy, on every freed world, people watched the battle unfold on their screens. They saw the station, humanity's grand project, fighting against the darkness that threatened to consume them all. And then something incredible happened. From every planet, beams of energy rose into space. The combined hope and determination of billions of beings, all focused on one goal: survival. The energy struck Project Unity, supercharging its systems. The station's beam grew brighter, stronger. The void's tendrils began to retreat. In the control room, Sarah watched in awe as the darkness was pushed back. Cheers erupted around her as the void, the ancient terror that had haunted the galaxy for eons, finally vanished. As the celebration spread across the stars, Sarah looked out at the now peaceful space. Humanity had not just revealed itself to the galaxy. They had united it, proving that together they could overcome any obstacle. The Zarkon's warning to stay on Earth had led humanity to the stars, to new allies, and to a victory that would be remembered for generations to come. Sarah smiled. This wasn't an end. It was a beginning. The galaxy was vast, full of wonders and challenges, and humanity, along with their new allies, was ready to explore it all. The greatest adventure in the history of the universe was just getting started.